It's been a while since I did this. Sorry about the movement. I'm just trying to get this camera right here. And let me get this right. I got a new microphone here in front of me, so I guess whoever comes in, let me know, type in the chat if you can hear me. I want to make sure it sounds okay and that I'm not like too close like this, or if I get further away, trying to figure out what's best audio wise. Hey, Bobby. Okay, cool. Glad you can hear me. Good to see you, by the way. Let's see. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in. I want to make sure I have everything right here. I should learn how to use StreamYard or one of those fancy services, but I just don't do this enough, to where I think I need to do that. But anyway, so I just wanted to spend a little time with you guys here this morning. I filmed 2 or 3 videos this week, but unfortunately none of them were for my channel, and so I don't have any content this morning, and I feel like I've neglected my channel a bit over the last year with everything that that's gone on. And I wanted to just spend a little bit of time with you guys. So anyway, let's see here. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I got lighting issues, man, because I got the sun coming in the window behind me, and I think the camera is trying to, mess around with that a bit. Let me see if I can make that better. Just give me a second here. Anyway, so yeah, didn't have any content this week, unfortunately. And, I will hopefully next week. I'm trying to keep up with everything. I create content for multiple channels. So I do my best. I do my best to keep up with everything. And my channel in particular, after having, all of the issues that I've had being away, hopefully that's a little bit better. After I've had all the personal issues and being away and everything, I think YouTube has really hurt, my channel with like the algorithms. And when I put a video out now, it doesn't even show it to hardly any of my subscribers. So it's just tough. It's going to be an uphill battle, but these are all things that happen that I can't control. So I'm not complaining. It is what it is. I'm sure other people have dealt with it too. But anyway, what's going on? I only have like 8 people here. I know it's a little bit early in some places. So, let me know if there's anything you guys want to talk about specifically. There's a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but I don't know if I'll get through them. Let me see if I can fix this just a little bit more. I'm trying, but it's giving me a real hard time here. That's a little bit better, I think. Yeah, so there's things I'd like to talk about that I just don't know, whether or not I'll get through because they're tough personal stuff, and I'm just not sure if, it'd be a good idea for me to go into that stuff here. So Madwood, hey, how you doing? Hey, Michael, good morning, man. It's good to see you. You could see my stuff my kid makes me here. I'm like a pack rat with that stuff. Anything that my kids make me, I tend to hang on to for a very long time. So Richard, how you doing? And Madwood, yeah, it has been a while, man. I haven't done a lot of lives. In general, I haven't, but I think, specifically lately, there's just been a lot of stuff going on, and I just haven't prioritized it. Maybe the way I should. But it's just life. It is what it is. Gosh, this thing is driving me nuts. You know that? I can't seem to get this camera where I want it, and my monitors aren't really angled great. Oh well, at least you can see me. Not that that's a great thing. So yeah, I lost my mom on September 16th, and there was a lot of I went on a vacation with my family in late July into early August. And like as soon as I got home, I, you know, found out my mom wasn't doing well and she had all these issues. And so I kind of just stepped away from everything and did everything I could to help her. And ultimately, it wasn't enough and there was nothing I could do. So, after she passed away on September 16th, keep in mind, I lost my dad in February. So it's been a bit of a rough year, and my grandmother and my stepmother in the past 12 months. So I just needed a little time away again. Not that I want to dwell on all the negativity, but I did come back, and I'm not going anywhere. This is what I plan on doing, for my career. So it's just been a rough ride, and sometimes I just don't feel like creating content. It's a lot of work too. Like this isn't, if you turn on YouTube and you watch a lot of videos, it's just people doing this. They're sitting at a desk and they're recording video, and then they can just post it. So it takes like, however long it takes to record the video and then however long it takes to upload it. For me, when I do a video, it's like, okay, one day of planning and getting ingredients, another day of filming, and that requires me to kind of clean everything up and get it set up for the shoot, set up the equipment, shoot the video, tear everything down, clean all the equipment, charge all the batteries, clean up the kitchen or the grill, and then download all the footage the next day and then edit everything and then post it, do all the metadata and all the stuff. So it's a 3-day project typically for a video. So it's hard for me to put up, it would be hard for me to do more than one a week for my channel anyway when I've got to shoot for others. But especially lately, I think it's been harder because I've just been away. So um, anyway, is my audio any better than typical lives? Because I've got this uh, mic here that I bought that I'm doing kind of voiceovers with for short videos and stuff that I'm trying to get into now. And I just want to know if the audio is better than normal. I kind of wonder if, well, no, I did set the microphone the way I wanted it before I signed in. Let's see. I appreciate it, Michael. And I know you go through a lot too. I mean, I watch you on Facebook, and I know you've got stuff going on too. So I don't plan on playing victim, but yeah, it's been a tough year. And I realize that there's people that have probably, had worse situations than me. So again, I'm not playing victim, but, it's been hard. So, getting in front of the camera and doing the work, you kind of have to be in at least a fair state of mind. I think if you're not, it's just very, very hard to do. And that comes from the entire creative process, like planning and then, shooting and then even in the editing. Um, but that's what's been going on. Upcoming cooks, John, I have like so many things I want to do. And one of the things so I'll just kind of talk a little bit about things that have been going through my mind as far as my channel, and like, I guess I'm just going to kind of blurt a bunch of stuff out because it's not like I made notes here. But, it looks to me like a lot of the trend in video nowadays are these shorter 30 to 60-second videos. And so and also, so that's like the first thought that comes to mind about like my content. The second thing is the type of content. I've always just sort of had inspiration and then created, and that didn't necessarily fit with like things going on currently. Like, for example, I might put out a steak video around Thanksgiving when I should be putting out, you know, Thanksgiving foods. And I've just never done that. And from a business standpoint, or from like a catching the wave standpoint, it's really stupid of me that I don't. But I just have always wanted to shoot from the creative hip, I guess, if you want to put it that way. And when I get the inspiration to do a certain thing, it may not really fit in with the time of year, but I feel like being driven by the inspiration is going to create a better piece of content than forcing myself to do something that I'm not inspired to do. And for the first 2 years, I would say that worked for my channel. But then so many things changed with YouTube and the algorithm, and the way people consume content nowadays with shorter videos and things of that nature. I think it's had a negative effect on my channel. I'm just going to be honest. And so um, my thinking now is to not necessarily take the creative process out or the inspiration, but I am going to try to gear my content and my subject matter more towards, like whatever's going on in the current time or trendy stuff. I'm going to try to do some trendy stuff because at the end of the day, I do want my channel to grow faster than it is now. It's growing now. It's not, like it's at a standstill, but I want it to grow as fast as possible. Gosh, I'm sorry about this lighting. I wish I could do something about it. I got those blinds closed all the way. Um, so yeah, my content should be a little bit more geared towards, what's going on in the now. Man, this is ridiculous over here with this sun. Maybe I can hold this up and block it out. There you go. Yeah, that's not going to help. Can't do that the whole time. Anyway, so I apologize for the sun, but there's really not anything I can do about it here. So I hope it's not going to make you guys leave. But um, my point is that I'm going to get into like trying to do more trendy stuff, and then with every video that I do, I'm going to create a short version of it that's going to be in square format and in vertical format so that I can put it out like on Instagram. I have totally neglected Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, to be honest, is pointless. Like, it's so hard to grow on Facebook without giving them money, and they make it that way. So I do it just because I want to have a presence there. But like Facebook, from a creator's perspective, at least in most cases, it's a complete waste of time. They gear everything towards money, every single thing towards money, and literally almost nothing towards, what kind of content people might actually want to consume. It's all based upon money and stuff like that. So, I'm there because I have to be there. But let me see if I can catch up with some of this stuff in case I missed anything. I'll come back to that. So, yeah, so trying to create content that's more, like kind of in the now as far as what's going on now, if there's any trendy recipes. Also, creating additional short versions of that content to post on YouTube, to post on Instagram, so on and so forth. And hopefully, hopefully grow my other presences, and on the other platforms as well, because there's a lot of opportunity there. And I just don't know that YouTube is going to be, you know, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. YouTube seems to be, uh, it's a very difficult place to grow right now. It is. There are some channels that are definitely growing, but there are some that I think deserve to be growing more and aren't. So it's a tough situation. So I think it's a good idea not to have all your eggs in one basket. That said, I'm not going to ignore my channel. Like, I totally plan on continuing to do what I've been doing and try to create more content, and just do the best that I can. I have not looked into Rumble, Ryan. That's the one that I hear about, that and Vimeo, and but I haven't gotten into those yet. Like, I've been focusing on YouTube. I've been focusing on the reels on Instagram, and also TikTok, which, you know TikTok is blowing up right now, and I know there's a lot of people that are, but I put out short content on TikTok, and it just doesn't get any attention, and I spend the time to do the editing right and do the voiceover, and it just doesn't get much attention so far. So I'm waiting on, one or more of those edits to come out and catch some traction. That would be nice, and then build a following there too. And let me see here. I read a comment that I really wanted to. Uh, it is hard, Mike, to cram a recipe into a short, and I get that, but other people are doing it and they're getting phenomenal results. So I'm trying to, because I've always been very detailed. I've always wanted to make sure people know everything, and even though I'll film a video, and it happens every single time. I'll film a video, thinking I covered everything, And then when I go through editing, I'm like, gosh, I forgot to mention this important thing. And it's harder because you don't have a film crew. You're by yourself. It's just me and my wife, really. And I do take notes and I try to be very detailed, but it's very easy to forget to say things or show things sometimes. And so even that with a 6 to 12 minute video, yet alone getting into like a shorter version of it. But the thing about the shorter version is that I'm kind of doing these voiceovers now where as I go through the edit and I kind of see the areas where I missed information, I can fill that in on the shorter versions. And again, I don't know where it's going to lead. I really don't. I'm not sure if it's going to, um, I'm not sure if it's going to help the channel. I'm not sure if because my goal is obviously YouTube's the big one, and what I would like is I would like to have these other places where I put content. I would like to have that sort of funnel over to the YouTube uh, channel. That's my goal. But if it ends up just growing on another network, then that's okay too. I'm not going to complain. The goal is to build a brand and to continue to put out the best stuff that I can. And I mean, gosh, I look back at when I started filming with a phone, and I know I talk about this a lot, but then to where I'm at now, and all the great filmmakers and content creators that I have worked with and that I've had friendships with. Um, I have learned so much and I have changed so much in my style, and I've become a lot more closer to like a legitimate filmmaker or content creator than I was when I started. But it doesn't seem to yield the results when you put the content out on YouTube for some reason. So it's, better content. I mean, I take time for colorations and edits, re-record sound clips. I do everything I can to put out good stuff, and lately it just hasn't yielded the results that I want. So that's why I'm gonna kind of, if I do a video, if I take the time, couple 2 3 days to film a video and edit it and all that, I'm gonna take that and put it out on as many networks as I can, social media outlets as I can, because I might as well maximize the work, right? It doesn't make sense not to. And I am, yeah, hungry griller. So yeah, definitely want to. I'm gonna stay true to myself, but I have to have a healthy balance of that and like what YouTube is actually showing viewers. Because if I stay in my little creative box in my mind, I'm just not going to see the results, and that's apparent. It's very very obvious. So I'm gonna have a healthy balance of everything, and I'm still gonna do just stuff that I'm inspired to do. It's not that I'm not. It's just that I really want to be a little bit more, you know, a little bit more calculated, a little bit more calculated. I think that's probably the best word for it. Um, and John, yes, driving the subscribership with the shorts. That's something that I definitely want to do. I've put out a few shorts. They have not gotten much response. I think one of them has a decent amount of views, but not much. So I just have to keep doing that, because I think I've seen creators, they'll put out 10 or 20 shorts and only one of them does well or none. So it's just a matter of continuing to do that. But I'm always worried that I'm going to piss off, without uh, thinking of a better word there, current subscribers that are like looking for the longer videos. So I'm trying to be careful with that, because I don't want to lose people that have been there for me since the beginning because I'm putting out content that they don't like. So it's really hard. Even though, like, as a creator, if you look at your statistics, you'll see that 80 to 90% of your views come from people that are not subscribed to your channel. So if you think about it, you're really supposed to cater to them. But I've always thought of subscribers, or as friends, and as people that they kind of connect with me, and I really like to connect with them. So I try to do things to make stuff that they like, and unfortunately it just doesn't yield the results that you want. So let's see, Daniel. Good question, Daniel. There's probably a lot of people in here with cooks planned for the weekend. I myself, so I filmed 3 videos this past week. I had to refilm some stuff yesterday. just some areas where I had bad lighting, and like I do right now on this video because of the sun behind me. And and I filmed all weekend last weekend, so I'm taking today off. Other than doing this and a couple other minor things, I'm going to take today off, and I'm taking my wife and my three kids to a. They have this drive through haunted attraction that's about an hour away from my house. Gosh, man, this lighting is just getting on my nerves. Let me see if I can move that over a bit. There we go. So anyway, there's like this drive through because all the haunted houses around here, like they either have ridiculous rules, and I don't want to get into a political thing here. I really don't. Not the purpose for me to say that, but they either have ridiculous rules or they're not open. So there is a drive through haunted attraction that's like in this forest preserve. You reserve a time, you drive there, and then you get to drive through this attraction. And they even have like an AM radio station that you tune into. So we booked the time for tonight, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go do that tonight. We're gonna hop in the van and put on some spooky music, and go enjoy some Halloween stuff. So then probably come home, and if it's early enough, we'll watch some movies. And tomorrow is well, the Bears. I mean, I'm a football fan. You guys know that, but the Bears are going to get killed by the Bucks, and I'm going to probably watch that and a couple other games. And I've got some chili that I'm going to make and stuff. So just do my kind of fall Sunday thing there. So I'll be cooking, but oh, I will be cooking. Yeah, and I'm cooking tonight. I'm dumb. My oldest daughter, loves smash burgers. So I'm going to make smash burgers for her tonight. I have everything ready for that. And the only thing I hate about smash burgers is that like cleaning the griddle top after I'm done when I cook a lot. Like if I'm doing a video and I cook one or two patties, no big deal. But if I'm, cooking 16 burgers, I'll spend 10 minutes out there cleaning that thing when I'm done, and it's just a pain in my neck. But if she loves it, then I'll do it. Let's see here. Oh, Madwood, great point. If anybody hasn't hit the like button yet, I would appreciate it if you would. It does help the channel. At least I think it does. I don't think it hurts it. So, that'd be awesome if you could do that. And if I missed anybody coming in, Tom's Food Factory, how you doing? Ted, fire up the LSG. Yeah, definitely need to do that, Ted. I have not. I'm going to tell you the truth. I haven't done a video on that thing since Easter, and it sits out there and calls my name every day, and I feel so bad that I haven't used it. But when I've had time to create content, it's like I've had to do what I've had to do to use what I've had to use. And again, I've been away for so many personal reasons that, I just haven't been able to kind of use the whole arsenal this summer. And it's disappointing, because life is short and I want to enjoy all that stuff. I enjoy filming and everything. I enjoy creating, I enjoy doing all this, or I wouldn't do it. I just really don't have much fulfillment from this past summer. I just don't. Um, it's just been a tough ride. But I hope that things continue to. Right now, I am healing and things are getting better, and that's what's important. And I just hope they continue to go that way. I pray every day, and then I can try to get myself back to where I can enjoy things a little bit more. Ryan, TikTok is just everyday BBQ, I believe. Yeah, and I've just started it not long ago, maybe a few weeks. I think there's only like less than 100 followers there now, but you can definitely go and check it out. I did start posting some content there more frequently, consistently in the past maybe month. Um, not taking off by any stretch. I hope it does, but so far haven't caught traction there yet. And I've neglected, and I said that when I first jumped on here. I know there's a few more people here now than there were when I first jumped on, but I have neglected all the other social media. So YouTube's been kind of the thing that I've been at, and I'm going to try to spread the love a little bit more and, make more effective use of the content I create by putting it in multiple locations if I can. Okay. Ted, thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that. Squirrel, thanks for coming in. Danny, how are you, brother? It's always good to see you. I have seen your name everywhere, since on my channel since I started, I believe. So very grateful to you, sincerely, for all the support and everything. It means a lot to me. Bobby, I agree. I think the shorts are a great preview. And the thing that I think I've screwed up with now is these past couple weeks is I put out the short after the full video. And again, that's sort of mean leading with appeasing my current subscriber base before potential subscriber base, if that makes sense. And I'm not sure if I'm doing that right yet. And I think it's just going to be trial and error. And as much as I think there's a right and a wrong way to do things, the one thing I'm learning about these algorithms, and I think YouTube specifically, is that as much as they say it's AI and self learning and constantly evolving, it's very random. It's very random too. And I think it tricks itself and does dumb things a lot of times. But uh, all we can do is work with the information we have. So um, yeah, I'm trying to tweak that. I'm trying to find my rhythm there. Let's see. Madwood's got two pork butts on. Man, I love doing pulled pork. My oldest daughter, again, she loves a lot of my cooking. We just talked about her liking smash burgers, but she's wants me. I've made it. I've made pulled pork probably, I don't know, 3 times, 4 times in the last couple months, even. The family just loves it, and I always do the Carolina vinegar sauce with it, and we make sandwiches. But I give my daughter the leftovers. She'll go home and do, like, pulled pork quesadillas, pulled pork nachos when they warm it up, and she loves it. So now for Thanksgiving, she wants me to do a couple pork butts, and she wants to do like a pulled pork mac and cheese. So I'll be doing it again here, within the next couple weeks or whatever. What are we in? Late August? Yeah, so about a month. Let me see. Yeah, Tom, and that was my thinking, right? Like I would put out the full video, for, like, say, the smoked cream cheese that I just put out. I'll put out the full video, give it a few days to get whatever views it's going to get, which lately hasn't been any, hardly at all. I mean, I have 51,000 subscribers, and YouTube has shown my video to like 1,000 people, 1 to 2,000 people, the last two videos. So people just aren't getting notifications. They aren't getting alerts. I don't really know how to resolve that. But then I thought, a few days later, I'll put out the short to try to attract new subscribers, and then the full video will already be there for them to watch. And that was my thought process on it. But so far, hasn't worked out. I'll just continue to stick with that for a while and see if it changes. Yeah, Mike, we have 3 kids, and they all love I think Halloween might be our favorite holiday here in the house. I mean, watching movies and just the whole fall vibe, we love it. So well, I'd say Christmas is probably the kids' favorite holiday because, presents and stuff, but I think Halloween's not far behind. Yeah, Danny, of course. Again, always appreciate you being here and everything. Um, Corey's getting a Blackstone. Great, man. Congratulations. That's a great cooker. It's a great cooker. I use mine a lot on and off camera. I really, really love it. And I don't think I've ever made anything bad on it. For some reason, with those flat top griddles, it just seems like whatever you make on them turns out better. It could just be just vegetables, I mean, because sometimes I'll do like a fajita style cook, and because for example, like, here's, so the kids don't like the onions and peppers, but they like the steak or the chicken. So I'll cook those things separately when I'm off camera. I'll do the onions and peppers, then I'll push those to the side, and then I'll do the chicken or the steak, and then I'll wrap everything separately, so that, like, if my wife and I are making a plate, we'll mix it up when we make our plate, but the kids will keep it separate. So even when my point is that, like, even when you just take an onion that you cooked on the griddle. It tastes so much better than it can taste inside. It's amazing. So you're really gonna love it. The searing capability, the flavor. The biggest thing is keeping it clean and maintaining it and cleaning it after cooks and all that. So you'll get used to that. I've got a couple videos if you want to check those out. That'll give you a good idea as to what's involved. But as long as you keep it clean, um, you're gonna absolutely love it. And anybody you cook for on there is gonna love it. Madwood selling pulled pork by the pound. Maybe I should just buy some from you so I don't have to cook it, man. Ryan, yeah, those are great recipes. The smoked cream cheese thing, like I did a recipe for El Yucateco for their channel, and that was I experimented with this whole concept for a couple cooks, and I kept thinking of it like, um, I don't know if any of you have ever had like a job where you had a bagel truck come by, or maybe it wasn't really at a job, maybe it was just a place that you'd go visit and uh, pick up a bagel every now and then. And, there's always the cream cheese thing. And I always think, like the onion bagel, the garlic, but then sometimes you want that sweet note too. And so what I finally landed on for a recipe for El Yucateco was like a sweet and a savory. And the sauce I made, the glaze I made was almost like a caramel type glaze. It was a little fruity from the habanero, and it had a little bit of heat, but it was so delicious going on top of that cream cheese. So you have this nice, garlic onion type flavor on the cream cheese with when you smoke it, you'll develop this little tiny, like crystallized shell crust on the outside. And this is why I don't cross hatch my cream cheese, because I want it to all stay together and just have that nice little glazy type crust. And I added a little brown sugar to my rub too. So it was sort of like a crystallized little shell on the outside. But there was this nice salty savoriness and from the rub, but then this sweet notes from the glaze. And then the recipe I did on my channel, I just went straight savory. So I kept it more simple, and I loved both of them. Those are the two. Those are my two favorite recipes out of the stuff that I tried. But like all the videos I do and all the recipes that I put out, look, I'm not Gordon Ramsay and I'm not a professional chef. I'm just a guy who likes to mess around with food and film stuff and show whatever creativity I have, which seems to always be revolving around food. Um, and I just want to inspire people to do their own thing. So if you see that I'm putting, onion and dried onion and dried garlic, um, and salt or whatever it is on the cream cheese, you might say, you know what, I would want more garlic, or I don't like garlic, or I would like to substitute that for this. I'm totally cool with that. That's all I want you to do. I want to inspire you to go cook something, or to cook something, close to what I had put out. It's never really about doing that exact thing, because not everybody's palate is the same, and everybody has different preferences. So if I can inspire you to try the recipe and to spend time with your family, cooking and enjoying the end result, that's all I care about. So use it as a guideline or inspiration, and then just make it your own. uh, Mustard says he doesn't have notifications turned on for anything. Yeah, I understand that some people don't want them, and I get it. But I have a hard time believing that 95% of my subscribers don't have notifications turned on. um Again, it is what it is. Mike, good morning, good to see you. Corey, yeah, I'm glad you watched that. And I've got, I think, two or three cleaning videos. I'm not sure if there's maybe only two. The first one I did was 3.5 years ago, probably. And I want to say it was like a photo montage with text. I mean, it wasn't great. But the newer one that I did was within the last 2, 3 months. I'd say that's a better representation um, of what I do after every cook. It's what I do after every cook. Madwood's got 10 pounds sold already. No surprise, man. I get people in the neighborhood all the time that ask me to cater stuff, or, you know, they want me to open a food truck, or, and I won't lie, like there's been times I thought, man, I could just make like some of my favorite stuff, like set up a little smash burger stand somewhere on a corner, or Chicago style hot dogs where I'm from is a big deal, but there's those places are everywhere. There's not a lot of the other stuff though that I really like to do. I have some great chili recipes that I make frequently. I love the French onion soup recipe that I have that I put out on my channel. I could probably, eh, just sell soup and smash burgers or chili and do really well. But I just don't want to. I only like to cook to share with small groups of people and inspire on video. Like I'm not, trying to sell hamburgers, although it would probably be a profitable venture for me if I could find the right location, a little food truck or food trailer, but I just not interested in that. But I know a lot of people do, and it's great because, you get to share your creation, you get to make extra money, or maybe it's your full-time job. So it's a great thing if that's what you like to do. Mustard, that's a great point, because YouTube will think it's smarter than you, and it will think that it knows what you want to see before you even tell it. Um, it's supposed to be the all ever powerful automatic or artificial intelligence, but again, I don't buy it that it's unbiased or that it's, you know, fair or smart, but it is what it is. Pork steak on the Blackstone. Yeah, never tried that, Ryan. I'll have to give that a shot. I did. So the closest thing I've done to pork steaks, and this wasn't on the Blackstone, but I did some country style ribs for. I shot that video last weekend for SNS Grills channel. It'll launch this coming week. I just had to make some adjustments. Uh, well, I guess I'll just ramble and tell you what happened. So I was outside, and this time of year, the fall sun is in weird places at weird times, and it also happened to be a very windy day, and I had neighbors outside making noise. So this is what I go through, right? This is what I go through. So country style ribs. This is a 5 hour cook, 4 to 5 hours, and I have to start the night before because I have to film all the B-roll of the dry salt brine and everything. And I do that. Everything goes fine. Next day, set up the cooker, and of course, all the filming and everything that goes into it, all the explanation, all the detail. And I get outside, and it's incredibly windy, and there was no like excessive wind in the forecast for that day, but it's incredibly windy. So I've got sound issues right off the bat. And before that, I had neighbors outside, neighbors' kids that were playing. They're just doing kid stuff. They're playing. Uh, it's not their fault that they're outside playing, but there was no way I could film with all that noise, especially if it's not for my channel, because if it's for SNS Grills or El Yucateco, I can't have kids screaming in the background or playing or whatever. So I had to ask my neighbor. I texted him and I was like, hey, I'll be filming. I was wondering if maybe I could exchange. I'll just bring all the finished food over to you when it's done. If you could bring the kids in for a little bit because I'm going to be filming till like say 3 o'clock or whatever. And he was like, yeah, no problem. So that problem was solved. And then because of the wind, I had to face the camera with my back to the wind so that my mic on my shirt wouldn't be in the wind. But then the sun was behind me. Not all the time, but anytime it would peek out from behind the clouds, the sun was behind me. So during the shoot, I didn't know that I had this big, humongous glare of sun behind me. I didn't know it. But then during the edit, I'm like, oh my God, like there, you could even see the circle shape of the sun in the lens. And it was just very intense and it was messing up lighting and the camera kept trying to self adjust. It was just a nightmare. So I had to refilm 9 clips yesterday that I'm going to kind of piece in through editing to make that more, you know, to make it better, to make it more professional, and to make it right. I don't want to put out content like that. It's just not good. So I had to, had to refilm that stuff, and I have yet to do the work on it and to piece it in. And I hope it went well. I'm gonna have to see, how it works and maybe blend in some outside noises because I filmed those on a different day. So now I may have to take some wind noise. I know it sounds crazy, um, but I may have to take some wind noise from the prior shoot and sort of blend that in to the to the clips that I'll be putting out or piecing in. It's a lot of work. But this is what I'll go through, and it's just part of what we do. So anyway, I rambled there, but I just thought it was a good opportunity for me to kind of explain the challenges I had on that one. Let me see here. I'm a few comments behind anyway. Madwood's in the process of a food trailer. It seems like you're very passionate about that, man. You know what? Go for it. Life's short. Go after your dreams and your passions and give it your all. And if you, you know, if you do, you're more than likely going to make it doing what you want to do. And that's the most rewarding thing you can have when it comes to work is that you like what you do. Yeah, pop up of yeah, see, Mike, but then I gotta give up whatever free time I have, like, on the weekends, and my son plays travel ball and, like, my daughter, she's very athletic, she's a little younger, but I know she's gonna be in track and soccer, and I'm not gonna miss that stuff. Growing up, my dad worked all the time, and I work a lot, I don't want you to think I don't, but I do separate time to make sure I'm at games, practices when I can be. I help coach when I have the time, and I'm involved in the stuff the kids do, not only academically. My kids are great kids, they're great students, they're straight A students, and it takes work. It takes discipline from us as parents to stay on them and make sure that they're always doing what they need to do. But the reason why they listen and cooperate, I think, is because they see that part of the reason, anyway, is because we as parents are engaged in their life and we care. So I try to, and I don't do it because of the optics. I do it because in my heart, I genuinely want to be there and to see everything and not miss a moment. I mean, you know how many home runs I saw my son hit in big baseball situations that I never would have seen. And those memories, when I think of them, like the very first one he hit, like it tears me up. And I couldn't imagine a life where I didn't witness that. So, like doing pop up stuff here and there, that means basically any free time you have, gone. And I'm just not willing to trade that. Maybe when the kids are fully grown, if I still have enough energy and ambition, I might try it, but it'll be a while. All right, let me see. Yeah, Mike, it's a good point. It's a good point. And I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't done like selling food, the selling food thing is because I think it would then turn into real work. It's work now, but it's fun work. And this is the balance that I enjoy. And this is why I do it the way I do it. Um, if I cook for other people, it's for a party that's here, or maybe a friend's having a party and they're like, hey, can you make some pulled pork or some ribs? Or I've done it for like the baseball organization, like at the end of the year, we'll have a barbecue and I'll throw a bunch of stuff on the cookers and everybody always loves the food. And I don't charge anything for that. I don't even take money for them to say like, here, I'm going to pitch in for the cost. I just do it because it's not, well, it's expensive now, but it wasn't that bad like last time I did it. Um, but yeah, that's what I like to do is just do it because I want to do it and not because I'm being paid or anything like that, because that sort of changes the mentality of it. So I think that's a valid point that you made, and that definitely something that is on my mind when I think about it. You get so busy. Yeah, the sleeper, same thing. I think Mike just alluded to. You know, the thought of the whole thing changing once you get into it. That deep. And there I see now you caught up to it. um, hey, Saucy Bottom Barbecue. So my guy's here. Hey, you got to check out his rubs, guys, and his sauce. It's amazing. I use it here all the time. Like as a matter of fact, my daughter's coming tonight for smash burgers, and I have a bottle of his sauce in the fridge because she pours like a ton of it on her burger when she eats it, and I season the smash burgers with his Barnyard Magic. So it's amazing. I mean, it's Barnyard Magic is what it's called, but it's really amazing beef rub. So check him out. He doesn't. He sends me stuff, but we don't exchange money or monetary stuff. Um, and so I'm not telling you because of that. I'm telling you because it's just genuinely good stuff. He's got a barbecue rub. He's got the Barnyard Magic, and he's got a chop dust is the other one, which is it's just wonderful on pork. I mean, I'll even throw it down as my first layer on my ribs, and then throw his barbecue rub on top of that. Um, it's just amazing stuff. You got to check it out, and the sauce is great too. Hey Ryan, thank you, man. I appreciate it. If I'm in anyone's top five of anything, I I appreciate it. God bless you. You have a wonderful weekend and a great Saturday. All right. Madwood, that's awesome. I see that's kind of stuff that if I'm gonna cook for large groups, it's stuff like that. It's not for any other reason other than for a good cause. I think that's really cool. So, keep that stuff up. That's excellent. Barnyard Magic. It's good stuff, Mike. It really is. Like as far as beef rub goes, for steaks, burgers. I'll even drop it in like for when I make tacos. I'll get a light sprinkle of that on the ground beef before I'll add, like chili powder or cumin or anything or any oregano, and it's just amazing. I mean, I just love it. And he's got a website. It might just be Saucy Bottom BBQ, whatever. You'll find it. And he's got social media and stuff too. So check that out because it's really really good stuff. And I think I'm caught up unless I missed any comments along the way. Um, and what do I have? 25 people here, so not too many people. But I want to hang out if you guys want me to. What else is there here? If I missed anything, I'm sorry. You can retype it. I probably didn't. I think I went through everything. Um, so it's not only Yardbird Magic. His is Barnyard Magic. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll scroll up here. That way I'm not sitting here silent. Then if I missed anything, I can. Ted Z. Okay, so let me see what he wrote. I don't speak for everyone, but I think pork butt is better the next day after pulling it and add a little vinegar. Yeah, uh, I love it fresh. I mean, not that I'm going to disagree with you because it's good the next day too, but I make that Carolina vinegar sauce and pouring that on it fresh when it's on a bun, and then the bun absorbs that vinegar sauce too, and it's just the bun gets all soggy, but in a good way. I mean, just thinking about it now, I'm salivating. I mean, it's amazing stuff. I really, really love it. And I, for a short time in my life, I lived in North Carolina. That's kind of where I got addicted to that vinegar sauce. When my parents were divorced, my mom remarried a guy who lives in North Carolina, still does. And when I was living there for those few years, don't remember how long it was, but we used to get, there was a couple places, and I actually had this information in my last pulled pork video that I did, but there were two places that we got from. There was Parker's, which was like a little chain in the area. And I want to say they've got a few locations now in North Carolina, but they had amazing pulled pork and this thing called Brunswick Stew, which if you've been to the Carolinas, you're probably familiar with that. My goodness, that was amazing. It was like baked beans with, chopped up, I want to say it was like onions and peppers, and then they had pulled pork in it. Oh, it was, and corn. It was amazing. It was so good. And then there was a little place in, it was a little place in Farmville, which is the town that we technically lived in, even though we weren't in town, we were outside of town. And it was called Jack Cobb and Sons. And I think they're out of business now. It was, I mean, you're going back 35 something years. But they had some just juicy, succulent pulled pork with the vinegar sauce. Their sandwiches were bigger. They were like more generous with what they gave. They were cheaper. And that place was amazing. I mean, I used to ask my mom to take me there after school all the time. It was kind of on the other side of town. So she'd pick me up from school. And, if I was lucky enough to talk her into it, she would drive me there and I'd run in and get a sandwich. It was great stuff. It really, really was. Robert, if you go to like one of the last few videos that I did was a like how to make pulled pork from start to finish. I can actually tell you. Let me look it up right now for you. I'll just pull it up here on my phone. This was maybe a couple months ago, and the title of the video, the thumbnail is me like with the pulled pork. It's like I'm. Hold on a minute. Where is it? So it's how to make pulled pork on a pellet grill, and you'll see me holding the pulled pork with the black gloves. It's a 19-minute video. It's a long video, and I did promote some wine flavored pellets in that video, but you can disregard that because those aren't necessary. But I'm going to tell you, those put like if you're using a pellet cooker, those wine country pellets, they put an amazing bark on the outside of that pork butt. It was just elevated. And that's no lie. That's why I agreed to do that promotional video for them, because their product does what it claims. But I mean, you can get a good bark without it. It's just not going to be that good. But in that video, I have a detailed portion where I go into the Carolina vinegar sauce. Keep in mind, there's a few different recipes for that. Sometimes it's as simple as distilled vinegar, um, crushed red pepper, and salt. And then with mine, I get more into like, I use some distilled vinegar. I use a little apple cider vinegar. I add a little bit of ketchup, black pepper, some brown sugar. And I tend to like the one that I make more than some of the other recipes, which is why that's what I shared. But there's a lot of recipes for it. And the key is to make that and kind of simmer it for a while so everything dissolves. And, let it sit. If you're doing it the same day, let it sit in the pot on the stove. Once it simmers for a long enough time and everything dissolves, then just let it sit and cool. And when you pull the pork butt and you're ready to shred it, right before you're getting ready to shred, you turn that pot back on and warm the sauce. And I'm telling you, it's absolutely outstanding. I mean, I can't. I got a friend texting me here. I can't even begin to tell you how good it is. So I hope you'll give it a try. And let me see here. Gary, how are you? Good to see you. John, let me see. Good morning from Naperville. Naperville, hey man, I used to hang out in Naperville when I was younger with all my crotch rocket guys. We had all our motorcycles and stuff, so we went to the Riverwalk down there a lot. Crazy guys I rode with. Anyway, let me see here. Where are you buying your meats these days? Everywhere's so expensive. Yeah, well, yeah, John. I was kind of alluding to that earlier here in the chat, where like everything is astronomical right now. And so I do try to support local. There's a little grocery store chain here in where I live, and they have like 3 stores. So I usually start there, even though they're like $1 or 2 a pound more. So unless I'm buying a lot at a time, I'll start there. But they've been real scarce on everything. You go there, there's no chicken, there's no ground beef. Uh, and so Costco's usually where I'll end up if I want to definitely score, like be able to have the stuff and not have to drive to another place. Costco works, it does. And their prices are better because they have higher volume. And other times, if my wife and I are out, we may hit up Meyer, but Meyer's prices, at least in my area, they've been ridiculous. I mean, so high that I've just put stuff down and said, I'm not paying this. I'm not paying $6 a pound for, 75, 25 or 80, 20 ground beef. Just not going to do it. We'll make mac and cheese or ramen noodles tonight or whatever. Um, so yeah, I think it's hit or miss right now, and it's scary because, like in my area, you're seeing this more and more where you go somewhere and there's no meat on the shelf, and or there's little, or there's other stuff that's missing. And I'm seeing people now like with pickup trucks, and they have these chest freezers in the back that they just bought, and it's like scary. It's like, you wonder if we're going to hit a point where you just can't get anything and people are going to be going hungry. I hope that's not the case, but at least for some people, I think they're concerned that that's a possibility. So price wise, I think you're just it's all random right now. And these stores, I think for the most part, I think they're doing what they have to do as far as pricing. Some of them are probably gouging, some of them may not be. But I think that they're just doing what they have to do. And, so we have to just adjust how we live and how we deal with that. Maybe change the food budget a bit, or change, what we eat, do certain kinds of meals less often. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Wild Fork Foods. That's a great one, Danny. I am a member of Wild Fork Foods. They're not a sponsor of my channel or anything. Their prices have gone up too, though. Like Wild Fork Foods, I want everyone to know this because they're a good company. And again, they're not paying me. But Wild Fork Foods, they have an app, they have a website, they have locations all around the country. They're slightly more than you're going to pay in your grocery store, but they have high quality meats. They deliver the stuff like next day or day after, and everything I have gotten from them has been really good. So, I will most certainly, uh, you know, give my endorsement to them. Matter of fact, laying in bed last night, we stayed up late. We carved pumpkins, and this has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but finally got in bed around 12:30, and I just went into the Wild Fork app and I ordered a couple tri-tips and some little odds and ends. I think got $120 order or whatever. And I like that stuff, because I'm thinking, well, I'll pay that dollar a pound more knowing that I'm going to get it and knowing I don't have to drive to the store for it. That saves me a little time and money. And I'll have some food for the week, for the kids and the wife and myself and everything. So they're very convenient. They're a great company, and I definitely recommend them. So anybody who is looking for a company like that, they're not one of these like super high end. I mean, they have super high end cuts, but it's for the most part just slightly more than your grocery store, and they have good quality stuff, and they seem like a good company, so you could check them out. All right, so let me see where I left off here. Good morning. Okay, I got that. Um, oh, Robert, no problem, man. Yeah, now those Wine Country barbecue pellets, they are more expensive pellet. So they're more or less designed for, like, a higher end cook. If you're going to do something like special occasion, anniversary, Thanksgiving, something like that, definitely say that it's a great way to go. I don't think most people aren't going to be able to afford, 30, 40 bucks a bag for pellets, but for those special occasions, it's worth it. They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And it's Wine Country Barbecue. I think I have a link in that same video. Um, the pulled pork video. I have a link in there. You can check out their site if you want. And the guy that owns the company is a good guy too. I mean, he sponsored that video. I'm not telling you he's good because he's sponsored. He's just a good guy. I don't really do any sponsored work for anyone that I don't like or any products I don't like. So if you see it there, that doesn't mean, oh, Mike did it because he got paid. And it means, yeah, Mike got paid, but Mike likes the people in the product too. So, all right. Have any recipes that you haven't tried yet that you plan to try? Danny, it's a great question. What I usually do when I change things up is I'll make the same thing, but I'll just change up the way I do it or change flavor profiles. But like I've shared mostly everything that I do. Like we're not a big seafood family here, and you'll see that I don't really have any seafood on my channel. It's not that I don't eat fish, but nobody in the house does except me, and it's not my favorite thing to eat. So you don't see a lot of seafood and stuff like that. But I'll change things up, and that's why I love doing burgers because you can do so many different creative things with burgers, different burger sauces, different methods of cooking, different flavor profiles, different thicknesses. It could be smash burger or a big fat smoked burger, different toppings. I want to get a turkey breast done. Like I did an outstanding. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back right quick here. I did an outstanding spatchcock turkey video 2 years ago. I can't beat that. So it makes no sense for me to do that video again because I'm gonna have to do it for other people this Thanksgiving anyway. I'd have to do it every year. I get contracted to, and I'm good at cooking birds. I mean, it is what it is. But I can't beat that video, so I'm not gonna make another one. I mean, I'll do it for other channels, but like that, if you want to know how to make the best turkey, juicy, delicious, crispy skin, incredible flavor. Watch my spatchcock turkey video. I think I released it in October or November of 2019. Yeah, I think it was 2019. I mean, it's a complete walkthrough. It's a longer video, but it's like there's no way that you're going to watch that video and not know how to make a spatchcock turkey from start to finish. And the results are amazing. It's incredible, and I know that for a fact because I've done it many times. Same technique, pretty much almost the same thing except for slight changes, like with rub recipe, and it's amazing every time. So Thanksgiving coming up. If you want to like make the best turkey you've ever made, go watch that video. And I don't even know how I got on that subject. I think I didn't even answer your question, and if so, I'm sorry. Damn, Kent just got a case of ground beef for $2.30 a pound. That's amazing, dude. I think even Costco here is like $4.99. I mean, I, it's scary. It's getting scarier too. That's the thing that bothers me. Coupon. Oh, hey, cool. That's great. So Saucy Bottom just put up a coupon on their site for 15% off just because I mentioned them in the video here. So if you go to their site, use that code Everyday BBQ, you get 15% off the order. That's good through the end of the month, he says. Yeah, awesome, man. Thanks for doing that. I hope everybody takes advantage of it. It's already very fairly priced, so I think that additional savings is it's very, very generous of you. Here we go with the football talk with Kent. Hey, man, you know what? We can't beat the Packers until Rodgers is gone. The only thing I hope is that he's gone next year. I hope he goes and signs with Denver because then you guys are screwed for a long time. And I'm gonna enjoy every minute of that. And we have a good rookie quarterback now. I'm gonna say that I mean I haven't seen any like real flashes of greatness in him, but I've seen flashes of goodness in him. Justin Fields more so than any of the other quarterbacks we've had in the past 10 years. So maybe he is the future of the franchise. Maybe he is going to get better and show greatness. I don't know, but I think he's going to be potentially the best quarterback we've ever had, in a Bear uniform if he stays here, which I think relies on whether or not Nagy stays. I think Nagy needs to go because he's horrible and his offense doesn't work. I don't want a real tangent with that, but all right. Where am I at here? Okay, I caught up there. Spatchcock birds are always good. Yep, rotisserie is good too. No argument there, Pickles. I still prefer spatchcock, but rotisserie is also excellent. A great name for a band, the Bird Cookers. That's good, man. Okay, chicken still. Yeah, chicken's not too bad. Although, we were getting it here for, if it was on sale, it could have been 99 cents a pound for chicken breasts, or 149. Normally we're probably 199. Now it's 2.99, 3.99 in some places. So that's going up. Fortunately, it's still affordable, but then because of that, you can't find it all the time. So yeah, I mean, you know, challenges we're all dealing with. I don't think this is limited to my area. This is a nationwide thing right now. So I pray it gets better quickly. Ground turkey, very affordable. Yeah, Dustin, I think that's also true too. If I don't think a lot of people eat ground turkey, but it's not bad, and it's very healthy. So there's just not a lot of demand on it right now. So it is still very affordable, and that's a good point. Maybe a good opportunity for people to try it that maybe haven't in the past. Turkey chili sounds good. I've actually got, so I'm making my grandpa's chili recipe tomorrow because my daughter loves it. And grandpa's chili recipe always primarily was with steak. And, in years past, I would just use sirloin because it was perfect for the recipe. But sirloin's way too high now. So I'm using cheaper cuts of meat, like round, or um, I don't know, just anything I can find that's say 4, 5, 6, not even four. I can't get $4 a pound for anything. It's like, $6 a pound, let's say. And so now what I did was I used this I think it was round steak, which, yeah, it was round steak then. And so what I'm doing to combat the, you know, having a lesser quality cut of meat is I went ahead and I cut it up today into little cubes, and I'm marinating it in salt and in my chili seasoning. And I'm going to hopefully allow that to soak up more flavor, and, and tenderize a bit for tomorrow when I make it. So I'm hoping that that does combat it a bit. We'll find out, because then I'll know if I can get cheaper cuts and do that and it's still good, then, I'll be good about that, because my daughter's real picky, at least for the time being. Okay. Yeah, Danny, I think that's a good point. He's got to have the right coach and the right offense. I mean, the whole reason we drafted the kid is because he's mobile, and yet they design no run plays for him. They design no scramble plays for him. Everything's pocket passing. It's the same thing Nagy did with Trubisky, and that's why Trubisky had to go. And now he's over, where's he, on the Jets as a backup? And he killed us when we played him in the preseason because he's got a coach that knows how to use him. This is the problem, with our situation with the Bears, is we have a coach that sucks and doesn't play to the player's strengths, doesn't plan to the player's strengths. And as long as we have him here, we're not going to do anything magnificent, and the only thing that keeps us going is our defense, which I think they get sick and tired of always being on the field because of how bad the offense is. So anyway, like I said, I can go on a 3-hour tangent. There's times I want to start a second channel and do like all sports talk stuff, because the older I get, the more it consumes me, and the more it just pisses me off when I see stupid stuff. Uh, let me see. Promised land talk again. Yeah. Kent, enjoy your last, what is it going to be? 10, 11 games with Rodgers. He's gone. And you got Jordan Love. And maybe he'll surprise me, but I don't think he's very good unless the Packers trade for somebody or somehow miraculously sign Rodgers again, which I have a feeling he has no interest in that. So good luck. Let's see. Ground turkey in place of ground beef or tacos and chili. Yeah, I have. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever tried it. It's something I should try, though. $1.49 for a case of pork butts. That's a win, man. That's a win. Now, you used to be able to get those for, I think I've seen them within the last couple years, if it was a real blowout, for 49 or 79 cents a pound. But I mean, right now, $1.49 a pound is really good, because I think they're $2.49 and more everywhere else. And that's the other thing, is the availability, right? We talked about it, but even with pork butts, I had to go buy this stuff to do this video for S&S Grills. It was country style ribs, and country style ribs can be bone in or boneless. The bone in are the real country style ribs. They're cut from the first few rib bones from the shoulder, and those are the real country style ribs. But people make what I like to call mock country style ribs by just cutting these, cube shaped or rib shaped uh, boneless cuts out of a pork shoulder. And those are really good. Don't get me wrong. Um, but when I was out trying to source the stuff for this video, no pork shoulders, no pork butts anywhere out of all four places that I normally go. There's more places I could have gone, but I was kind of like, okay, I'm not going anywhere else today. And then my guy here that at the local store who I called first and said he didn't have it, he said, "Man, I found you some. I'll have the bone-in version tomorrow for you." And I was like, perfect. So I ended up with that. And that's what I wanted anyway. But just going out and like, when's the last time you couldn't find a pork shoulder or a pork butt? And that's where we are right now. So it's a little scary. Best way right now for me, price is good. Chunk cow, like, yeah, I thought about that too, Michael. And I do live in an area where I have farmers. I have meat farmers in the area, and I've never done it that way for whatever reason. I just always went to the store. But I do think we could probably source some beef from local farmers if it comes to that. And it's something that I have thought about the last week or two of just kind of looking into, maybe not placing an order, but finding who I could place an order from if I decided I wanted to. Let's see. Maybe Mike. I don't know. I think about it sometimes about starting that other channel, but I'm just not sure if I. I'm not sure if I want to. But I love to talk sports. Thing is, I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just like I guess from a fan's perspective, I think I know more than the average fan, but I'm not like Bob Costas or anything like that. So yeah, and I guess my other channel is the same way. Like I'm not Gordon Ramsay either, right? But I still do stuff and put out content. So maybe it's the same thing. Yeah, last dance. True, Kent. This probably will be your last dance, and man, I hope you guys don't win a Super Bowl. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I do not want you to win a Super Bowl. I want Rodgers to get knocked out before he even gets to the playoffs, but I don't think that's going to happen. He'll make the playoffs, but I hope he gets knocked out by some really, really legendary quarterback like Brady or somebody. Danny, thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it. $3.99 a pound. Wow, that's crazy, pickles. Kent just got some for 99 cents a pound for pork shoulder. Yeah, that's great. 99 cents is still really, really good. Normal, even in 199, that's great. Like in my area, that would be great right now. I can't find it for less than 249, and that's if I get lucky. Okay. All right, I've been on here an hour 12. So you guys want me to hang a little bit more? Or are you sick of me? You tell me. I have a little bit more time. Let me see what it is there. 10, just after 10 o'clock. Yeah. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Don't think I did. Um, all right. So I guess I'll scroll up and see if I missed anything here. I got to figure out how to use StreamYard and stuff. Like if I want to do this and actually make it look nice where people can see everything and see other comments and all that good stuff. Michael, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it, man. You have a great weekend. Pickles, yeah, man, I'll be here. I'm going to stay for a little bit. I think I already told Kent about what I thought about the Packers. Ever have guest cooks? Robert, I did in the past. There's a guy here in my neighborhood who's a former chef, former deli owner. His name's Chef Carl, and I've had him on my channel a few times a couple years ago. But then once COVID hit, he didn't want to be indoors anymore, and so I haven't really had any guests on the show in a while. So it's just a different world we live in now. But it's definitely something that I do enjoy doing from time to time, but haven't done it for a while. John, take care. Thanks for being here, man. I really appreciate it. Childhood favorite meals. Um, I mean, let me see. What did I eat as a child mostly? Uh, I would honestly have to say, which I don't eat this hardly ever now because it's just so many carbs and everything. But I used to love spaghetti with meat sauce. And my mom used to make it. Gosh, um, bothers me a bit to think about it. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, so my mom used to make it like, and I'm holding it together here as best I can, but my mom used to make it like, um, like a steaky kind of flavor to the meat. So she would brown the meat with some onions and some peppers, and then she would add in like Worcester sauce and a little A1, and then she would get into like a little bit of oregano or basil. And it sounded weird because it's like you got two different flavor profiles going, but it worked so well. And I actually love, that's where I learned how much I love like Worcester with tomato stuff, like, in a Bloody Mary or in, gravy. And her thing was that, sometimes she would use canned tomatoes and she would flavor the sauce too. And sometimes she would just dump a couple jars of ragu in there with it. And but whatever it was, man, it worked. It worked so well, and I used to love that. And we do make it, but I mean, it's just not often. I don't eat a lot of pasta. I mean, I know I'm a big fat dude, but believe me, I'd be a lot fatter if I didn't watch somewhat of what I eat and do cardio and lift weights. So I am mindful of that stuff, but I would eat that every day if I could get away with it. Believe me. The other things that, she used to make like this spicy ground beef and potatoes, which I still make periodically. And, and then the normal kid stuff. My God, I had so much mac and cheese as a kid. That was my grandma's thing. My grandmother used to make the best. It was Kraft. It was Kraft mac and cheese. And it was better than anyone else who made Kraft mac and cheese. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that before, but if you had a mom or a grandma or have a mom or a grandma that would make you something that so many other people make, but and it's a out of the box recipe, literally like Kraft mac and cheese. And hers was exponentially better than anybody else's who made it. I don't know what she did. I don't know if she put a half stick of butter in there with I have no idea, but my God, was it good. And that's another thing that I really don't eat now because it's all straight carbs and stuff. So I would love to. You have no idea how much I'd love to just make like a box of Kraft mac and cheese and try to make it the way she made it and then just put it in a big bowl and sit down in front of the television, like we did when I was a kid. We would play cars. Like I was big into, generally the Dukes of Hazzard stuff when I was a kid. And I had a whole thing full of, as a matter of fact, I found him. I found him the other day. I got all these Dodge Charger cars in a box that I remember playing on the floor with my grandmother with, and eat mac and cheese, And so, yeah, a lot of the stuff that I ate as a kid, I don't really eat anymore because it's, not the greatest thing for me. Not that stuff I make on video is, but believe it or not, a lot of the stuff I make on video, I take a couple bites and believe me, it's delicious, but then I'll go take it to a neighbor or a family member will pick it up because I don't want it around here. Because if it's here, I'm going to eat it. I made this potato dish yesterday for El Yucateco. Best potato dish I've ever made. They wanted like a side dish for Thanksgiving. These were just out of this world. And I had maybe about a cup's worth. And then I immediately told my wife, I'm like, put these away, call my sister, have her come get them. She's thin. She can afford to eat them. Because I don't want them here. If they're here, I'm going to be all day long thinking about them and I'm going to be wanting them. So went off on a tangent there anyway. All right. Let me see if I missed anything here. Uncle Don videos, man. Yeah. So I got to get Uncle Don back on the channel. He's been having some health struggles. So say a prayer for him because my God, I don't want to lose another person I love right now. Um, But I got to get Uncle Don back on the channel, man. I mean, the videos I did with him, they're so popular. People love him. And he's a great guy. He's a very lovable guy. It's amazing how that comes out in video uh, just as well as it does in real life. I mean, whenever I go, like he's my golf partner for my golf league that I'm in once a week. Not anymore. It's fall now, but throughout the summer months. I mean, when I show up there with him, it's like everybody in the club comes out to greet him. Hey, Donnie, so he's just a lovable guy. He's a likable guy. And it comes off in video too. I think one video I did with him's got 300,000 views or something crazy. Eh, It's just amazing. It's amazing how personalities can shine, not only in real life when you're engaged with somebody in face to face, but on video too. Okay. And I haven't I haven't tried elk, Kent. It's like when I was doing my Wild Fork Foods order last night, uh they had elk and I was gonna try it, but then I'm like, I already had like $100 order or $120 order, and I'm like, maybe I'll add it to my next one. But I haven't tried it. I've heard it's really, really good. I've heard it's sort of like in between beef and bison. You could tell me if that's true. I don't know if that's a good description or not. But and I don't mind bison. Bison's really lean, but I mean, there was a restaurant by me here called Thunder Bay Grill, and they have bison burgers. And when we used to actually be able to go out to eat, we would stop there sometimes and eat, and I loved that bison burger. It was a little dry, but it tasted good. And I knew it was slightly healthier than the norm, so I didn't mind it. Worcester sauce is underrated, pickles. I could probably just pour it in a cup and drink it. I'm not even lying. That's how much I love it. Like, it just, you salivate when you think about it. And that's why like Bloody Marys are one of my favorite alcoholic beverages when I consume, because I just love that mixture that, if it's a Bloody Mary mix. I mean, you guys tell me who out there likes Bloody Marys and what mix do you use, or do you make your own? The two that I've liked are Zing Zang, and the other one is a Famous Dave's. I think it's Famous Dave's Devil's Spit, and it's actually in a Bloody Mary version, and it is my favorite. It's hot and spicy, but my God, is it good and tangy. But that was some Worcestershire sauce, man. Some Tabasco. I put a little black pepper, a little bit of celery salt, some booze, and it's amazing. But I could just drink Worcester sauce. That's how much I love it. Let's see. Just a friend texted me there. I'll get back to him. Yeah, Tom, isn't that funny? That you have like your grandma makes something like you're just saying, iced tea. It's a mix, right? You put it in water, you mix it. And maybe it's psychological. Like maybe we have an attachment to that particular person, and so it's not different, but we think we make it different in our minds. But I don't think so. I mean, in your case, it's the instant tea. In my case, it was like mac and cheese and scrambled eggs. Nobody could make better scrambled eggs than my grandmother. I don't even know what she did to them. I mean, I would watch her make the eggs, and it was the same way I or anyone else makes them, and they were amazing. Um, but yeah, it's just funny how certain hands can make things taste better. I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. Yeah, definitely vodka, Dustin. Definitely vodka. As a matter of fact, I might have gotten a little bit of Bloody Mary action going today, but I'm driving tonight. We're going to this haunted drive-through forest thing, and I don't want to be loaded when I do that. But maybe when I get home, I'll make me a nice Bloody Mary. Horseradish, I have not done. Now that sounds pretty intriguing. So, um, talk to me on this. What do you do? How much do you put in? That's interesting. I love horseradish, so I may have to give that a shot. Bloody Mary superb. Make my own mix. I'd love to have that recipe, man. You ever tried Bloody Mary mix minus vodka and a chili? Um, I haven't, mustard. His secret ingredient, which is now mine, which is not V8. So instead of using like tomato sauce or canned tomatoes, it's literally V8. He would cook his steak or ground beef down drain grease if there was it depend on the cut, right? Some of it doesn't have a lot of renderings and some does. Sorry about this focusing, guys. Um, and then there would, be the very finely chopped onion, if at all, the kidney beans, chili seasoning, and then he would add V8 until it just covered everything. And, like with cooking, he always taught me you can always add more, but you can't take away. So you don't want to make it chili soup. So you put enough in there, and but with the chili seasoning, it'll thicken up as it simmers, and you can add more V8. But that V8 and that chili, I mean, it's really what makes the chili. That and the French's chili seasoning. I mean, I don't know what brand you guys use or if you make your own. I do make my own sometimes, but when I'm just trying to make a pot of chili, and honestly, this is the best chili when I make it this way, is you use French's chili o with onion. It is, and you go with about 1 pack per pound of meat, and it's absolutely amazing. So my chili recipe that I'm making tomorrow is going to be very simple. It's going to be uh, steak that I've cubed with French's chili o chili seasoning, dark red kidney beans or light red if you want, very finely minced onion, and V8. Very simple. And if I'm wanting to change it up a little bit, I'll add garlic, or I'll add like additional, well, I'll add not additional, but Worcester sauce to it because I love the Worcester, like I just said. But it's good either way. So yeah, for sure. Uh, and I can imagine Bloody Mary mix is probably very similar, almost the same thing. But the V8 and the chili, home run. The Famous Dave's, yeah, so the Devil's Spit barbecue sauce pickles, that's one of my favorite barbecue sauces. I have a few, that's one of them, and they make that same flavor in a Bloody Mary mix, and it's crazy good. And I think as you get, like, if you have Menards home improvement stores in your area, they carry a lot of that Famous Dave stuff, and I'm pretty sure that's where I got that Bloody Mary mix, and the prices aren't bad. It's really not bad. It's not like it's astronomical. In fact, I think it's less than Zing Zang, and it's better. So you got to try it if you like that. You really got to try it. All right. So let me see. Barbecue sauce. Yeah, I get that, Tom. I get that. I know, little indigestion action, but man, is it worth it? Um, hey, Bobby, that sounds good. If I didn't have to drive, I would join you. I'd drink one right here on camera with you. And I do like Zing Zang. It's great. It's what I have in my fridge right now, actually. Spicy V8 makes it, yeah. Spicy V8 is excellent. I love that. There's the spicy V8, and then there's the black hint. I think they call it hint of black pepper. That's a good one too. Yeah, mud turtle here with the a little bit of lemon juice and some hot sauce. Absolutely, man, that will wake you up. And it's, God, I mean, again, it's so, just to think about it, it's so good, so tasty. A can of corn for color. Yeah, you certainly can. I mean, there's so many things. This is, again, you make it your own. You make it your own, whatever it is that you like to do. But with chili, it seems like the more simple recipes are just tastier for whatever reason. I've, um, I mean, just, was it last week, week before? An old friend of mine from, like, where I grew up, I known as a kid my whole life. He messaged me, and it's funny because he always tells me anytime he thinks about food or cars, he thinks of me. And he messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I want to make chili tonight. You got any recipes?" And I gave him this recipe that my grandpa, made. And he sent me a picture later of, like, all the him and his boys and his wife, all their bowls were just like licked clean. And he goes, "Dude," he goes, "that was an amazing chili recipe." So I know it works for more than just me. Believe me. When I've done some of these little chili cook-offs, I think I've done two or three in my life where I try to get so complicated with them. Like, I made a pulled chicken chili one time, and I never just made regular chili. I always had to do some weird stuff and make it overly complicated. I really think that if I would have just made my grandpa's chili and those, I would have won every time. Every time. Skyline Route. Yeah, I've heard about cinnamon and I've heard about is it cocoa or chocolate? I've never done those. I've never done those, but I've heard that they're tasty in the chili. Let me scroll up and see if I missed anything here. I think I got everybody's stuff answered. I don't know. We don't have a ton of people in here anymore. I think I'm dwindling out. We got 14. We had I don't know what our max was, but I know it was a lot more than 14. Nutmeg, okay, interesting. I would definitely say that could be a good addition. Haven't tried it. Yeah, okay. I think I'm caught up. I'm just going back up. See if I missed anyone. And I don't think I did. I think I got everybody. All right. All right, everybody. It's like 10:30. So I think I'm gonna bust out of here and just go hang with my family for a bit and enjoy the day. And but I really enjoyed hanging around you guys this morning. And I'm sorry about some of the focusing and lighting issues. For those of you that were on my last live, can you tell me and confirm whether or not my audio is better today than it was? Because I've got this boom mic thing here, and I'm just wondering if it's worthwhile for me to use it when I do lives, or if it's really no different than before. So real quick, if you don't mind, if you're still here, give me some feedback on that. No pun intended. And then I'll let everybody go. I just want to make sure that I'm at least trying to give you guys the good experience. And I am going to learn how to use like StreamYard and or one of those. I might even work on that a little bit this week and try to make these chats a little bit better and maybe set a better, bigger backdrop or something like that. Sounds good, everybody. Pickles, mustard, Bobby, Dustin, Robert. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate everybody being here. Good. I'm glad the audio is good, Pickles. Does it get louder when I get closer like this? And does it get more faint when I move away? I want to make sure I even have the right mic activated in here. I'm sure that it's right because I know I said it, but yeah, sounds good to everybody. It looks like okay, good. Um, has been great today. Okay, excellent. Very clear audio. Okay, good, good. That's what I want. So at least I got that resolved. Now I got to get the video part handled and learn how to use like StreamYard or something. So, um, Ken, thanks for being here. I know you didn't have to boot anyone today. Sometimes we get weirdos in here, but I turned this on to a subscriber only chat when I loaded it, so we wouldn't get like some of these stray YouTube robots in here that say dumb things. So, but I appreciate you being here to kind of check on things and everything. A lot less people in here as a result of that, but that's fine. I don't mind close knit groups. And all right, listen. I just want to tell everybody that I genuinely appreciate your support. This journey for me has been amazing, life changing in a lot of ways. The last year's been so tough on me, so tough on my family for many reasons. And I've been trying really hard to just keep focused and to keep my head up. And I'm doing that, but it's like every time I start to heal, something happens and then I work my way up and boom. So, right now I'm just focused on positivity and goodness and really hoping I'll be able to be more consistent with everything that I do. And, I appreciate the fact that you guys consume the content and that you support me. It means a lot to me. And this is now, I mean, I'm legit. This is how I'm supporting my family. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. It means the world to me. And, I'm getting to live my dream. And I've got a long way to go, though. I'm not in a position where I'm comfortable or anything. I'm just getting by at this point. But to make this conversion and just change in my life to go full time video, it's been a it's been a pleasure and it's been fun. And I want to continue to grow it. So genuine appreciation and love and for everybody and for all the comments and things when my dad passed away and then when my mom passed away in September. Just the amount of like text messages and comments and different. We have so many ways we communicate nowadays, and I got hit and bombarded from all angles, and I welcomed it. I needed it, and I still do. I still have really bad days. It's only been a little over a month since I lost my mom, and that was only 6 months from the time I lost my dad. So, uh, and like I said, lost my grandma, lost my stepmom. This all happened in the last year, so it's been a little rocky for me with consistency, but I'm grateful that you guys are here, and I'm going to continue to do my best. Uh, just do me a favor and be here for me. I know you have been, but consume the content, hit the like button, leave comments when you can. Anything you can do to help me would be appreciated. And um, that's it. CJ, thanks for being here, man. I saw you in the chat. It's been a while since I've talked to a lot of fellow creators, and it's not that I don't want to. I don't know. Just been, you know, had a lot of stuff going on, but always tracking you and following you, your success. Good job with everything. Keep it up. Corby, good to see you, man. I'm about to bust out of here now, but um, it's good to see you in here. I don't think you've posted anything in a while, Corby. I usually watch your stuff, man. It's enjoyable to me. So put up a video, will you? Entertain me. All right, everybody. Love you all. Appreciate you all. And uh, I'll see you on the next turn here. It'll be a video coming out hopefully next Saturday. So God bless everybody, and thank you genuinely from the bottom of my heart for everything. I'll see you later.